Hey you, welcome to the Dating Chat, a space designed to help you move beyond assumptions and guesswork so you can date and love with clarity and confidence. I'm your host, T. Today, my guest is Michael. He's a responsible single dad in his early 40s and runs a successful software company right here in the heart of Silicon Valley. He's tall enough, fit, and charming in his own way. Now, to clarify, he's not your typical startup bro. From what I've learned, he's sweet, grounded, reflective, and emotionally mature. Basically, the kind of CEO you'd actually want to go on a date with. Michael was born in Russia, lived in Israel, and now lives in the US. So yes, he speaks 3 languages and brings a rich, multicultural perspectives to relationships. He was married for a long time and now co-parents his son in a healthy, drama-free way, which is honestly refreshing. I actually met Michael through a local sports car club we're both members of. Every month, the club hosts these relaxed Sunday morning meetups. Coffee, breakfast, lots of car talk. And then we hit the winding roads for a fun drive. So ladies, take note. Car club meetups, great place to meet guys. No joke. The vibe is chill, the people are nice, and the conversations are always surprisingly good. What I love about Michael is that he's thoughtful, romantic, and super intentional about dating. Oh, did I mention about his dimples? I would just leave that there. In today's episode, we're diving into his journey, what it's like dating as a divorced dad, what a woman should know about dating Russian man, and one absolutely hilarious dating story you will not see coming. So, if you've ever been curious about what Russian men are really like in relationships, or if you are just looking for some grounded, hopeful vibes in the middle of dating chaos, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Hi, Michael. I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me.
It's going to be so much fun.
Well, I hope so.
Going to talk about a lot of your stories about dating.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, I'm Michael. I'm at my early 40s. Yeah, and, we've been dating for a while. Have a lot of stories behind.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can share some of the insights for sure. Will be interesting for the crowd.
Good and bad?
All of it, yeah. I'll try to keep the details interesting.
Okay, but first of all, let's talk about where you are at your life right now.
I'm pretty much acing it at this point.
You're divorced?
Yeah, I'm divorced. Yeah, I'm running a business. I have a kid. And yeah, I'm pretty much doing what I always wanted to do.
I remember you have a son. He's 10 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got the details correct.
Yeah. He's literally like my friend at this point. Just a dude, and we like to hang out. So it's no longer something that I constantly require paying attention to as he was small. Now he's just doing his own stuff, and I'll out there if he needs me or not.
Oh, cool. So you're not stressed or feeling anxious about the responsibility of being a dad.
I mean, the responsibility is not going anywhere, but I think it's more a longer investment at this point where there's more conversations now with him, but he's grown on his own. So that's the difference than what it felt before. He was much more demanding.
Okay, so is that why you're ready for going back to the dating again?
Well, I'm constantly on the outlook for a right person. So that's why it's something that it's always on the top of my mind. But looking actively, yes, it has pros and cons, of course. When you're actually sometimes trying too hard doesn't bring good results.
We can talk more about that.
Yeah, you kind of need to relax in many cases.
When we're talking about your stories.
Sure.
How long have you been divorced? How long have you been dating?
So I've been divorced for 2.5 years at this point, a little bit more. Dating, probably about 2 years. Definitely took me a while to kind of get into the sense of what do I want and what's happening with my life. Took me a good half a year, maybe a little bit more even. It's not something that it's easy, especially after many years of marriage. And I was exclusively with one person for a long time. So that separation, it takes a hit on you too. So you kind of, what is my purpose? Who am I in this whole world? You need to rethink your values and your priorities.
Actually, before we dive further in about your dating story, I like just talk about your divorce just for a couple of minutes, because we talked about that before. You said you're in good relationship with your ex, and she just lived on the same block, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I know my friends, a lot of people are divorced these days, and they don't have a great relationship with their ex. So maybe this is a good moment to like just share how you did that, and what's your advice to divorced people. I think it's important to have a good relationship with your ex for the kids,
Yeah. Okay. So I think two cases here, if you have kids or not, right? Obviously you want to make peace with the world in general. Like if that's my outlook.
Yeah.
I want to part ways with people on the good terms in general. I don't like to keep anything in my head that I don't need this. So when you all have kids, I think it's much easier, because it's just, you have two lives that just part. When you do have kids, it's not over, right? So when you part ways, there's actually those projects as your kids, they're there. So in a way, if you think of the family as a planetary system, so kids would be somewhat the center of that, because the parents, their attention changes quite a bit. The way they apply and they invest their energy changes a lot when the kids rise. So when we split, it's the same thing. That system stays. So I think that realization of that is very important. So making sure that you're on the same page with a partner about this. And I think there's no better way than just talking about it.
A lot of other couples can't do it.
Yeah, I think when you cross the moment when you can't talk to each other in a reliable way, there's just communication fades, then it's, of course, it's a problem, right? There's just maybe too much anger, too much hate, too much things that you keep against your partner, and then they become, I don't know, sort of enemies. So it didn't happen to me, and I didn't feel there was anything like this. For me, the relationship there were, like, the romantic part was just over. It just came to an end, and none of us wanted to continue it. So logically, everything made sense, and then we could talk through all the situations of how we're going to treat the kid and how we're going to make sure that he gets the attention he needs, and he doesn't try to manipulate us, because it's so easy to say hey, mom said that, and maybe you can allow me do something or and so forth. So that kind of maintain that transparency is important. So I think that's the main advice. If you can talk, start talking and figure out how it's gonna work long term.
And also, we forgot to mention about your background. Because when we're speaking right now, you have accent, right?
Yes, I do have accent. It's I was born and raised in Russia. That's why my accent is there. That's kind of another cultural layer of me. So when living in the United States, it's obviously I see how there's a mix of cultures, and I bring my own.
You're a Russian, and you speak a couple other languages.
Yeah, I also lived in Israel for a while, so that's another layer of my past. So I bring that part also to the table.
So how much percentage of you do you feel being Russian right now?
I think it's still my native language. I still sometimes...
Like culture-wise?
Culture-wise, I think it's a lot. It's probably about 40%, I would say.
And the other 60% is?
And that's like the mix of everything else that I'm collecting. So I'm less Russian, yes, and as well, like American, Israeli, the European influence. I kind of picked on how other cultures behave, and it's really... So
you're saying you're 40% Russian. What about being American? How much percentage there is?
Yeah, well, what is American, right? It's always a good question.
How much do you feel like you are American?
I think I'm like probably about 30% American and then 30% Israeli. That would be a fair split.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I'll leave a few percent for like unknown. Because I do like how, different...
You're slightly more Russian still in your core.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I never went out with a Russian guy, so I really have no clue about how Russian guys are typically. So please tell us more about how Russian men generally are and how you are.
Okay, let's maybe a fundamental thing about Russian culture in general.
Great.
Is that's what a lot of misconceptions are coming from often.
I'd love to know that.
Yeah, for example, like people say, oh, Russians are so cold. And like, we're not really cold. We just assume you're not friendly.
Your language is like super harsh, right?
Maybe. It doesn't sound harsh to me, but it's like, we don't assume friends by definition. It's like, I see a person on the street, I don't assume he's a friend. So my perception is that that's not a friendly person, that the person is at, let's say, zero balance of my relation, or maybe even negative if he doesn't.
I mean, I don't assume anybody walking down the street is going to be my friend. I'm the same way.
Well, what I noticed here in the United States, for example, a lot of people, they assume you did nothing wrong, so they will perceive you as more of a friendly person.
Yeah.
So if you come over and say, hey, can you help me? Like, sure, somebody will help you. That's not necessarily the case in Russia, where I grew up. The assumption would be, that's a person, and I have nothing positive to say about it. That's why we don't really smile to other people,
Really?
I think.
So you're saying if your car broke down on the side of highway, in Russia, no one else will like see it and
I wouldn't
help.
say no one else. I think like there's like extreme versions of it, but less likely that somebody will stop.
I see. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I think it's more like in a social scenario too. So yeah, just even like approaching people, you would say, okay, they won't intentionally smile at you. That's the thing. It's like if somebody smiles at you, that's it. You might interpret it as, okay, I think there's something between us, which it's not necessarily the case here. So that's why I might misinterpret the signals of other people here, other women sometimes.
So should I say that Russian people generally would take a lot more time and practices for you to trust each other, and then you would do anything for each other type of thing?
So I think it's fair to say is that you kind of need to earn the respect first, and then you being treated as a friend. Then you immediately get into the friend zone, very close, right away. There's no also like, oh, he's like, you're an acquaintance. No, this Russian are friendly once you earn that respect. They take you very close. Okay,
so let's talk about just Russian men in general in the setting of relationship, like how Russian men are when they treat a woman, or how they select their wives.
There's also a certain expectation in the society. So when Russian men kind of go out with women, they usually would be paying for a lot of, whatever, the first date and the second date and so forth. Like a lot of expenses.
They're always paying.
Yeah. That's expected, or like, maybe like buying gifts and so forth. So they are the ones who are arranging.
Just being a provider.
Yeah. That's expected. I think it's also expected to be like, that's kind of comes from the gentleman past, like opening the doors and,
Really?
Yeah, like providing a hand or
like that.
kind of support, or like, hey, let me help hold your bag. All kind of things. They're like very much expected.
There's a lot of guys
being like
they don't like to hold bags.
No, I know. It's or neither open doors, right? So,
I know.
Like, why would you touch a door? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's messed up these days. Yeah, guys are afraid of open doors for women.
But I give an example. Like you stop the car in Russia, you're the driver, okay, and then you have let's say a girl or a woman on your front seat. So you stop the car, you go around the car, you open the door, you let her out and give you the hand to get out, and then you close the door. So that's very much expected. I haven't seen this happening here too much. That's very different. Yeah.
But there are still people in America.
Of course. That's why I don't like to generalize completely and say everyone, or like it's not.
How about
everyone.
you? Let's talk about you. Are you that way?
No, I don't.
You don't open doors?
No. I don't do it always because I try to sense what's the expectation of the person. If I see that a girl that I'm dating, she's more active, she's trying to take the active role pretty quickly, I'm like, I let her do that. I do very much appreciate the freedom of a person way more than providing or showing the exact certain pattern of behavior.
There are two types of women. Okay. One type, person like me, we value that, we appreciate that type of gesture, being gentlemen, open doors. And there's another type of woman that they do not like to be taken care of in that way. And nor they like to, when they go out to dinner with a guy on date, they rather split the bill, right? So that's the other type of woman, type B. So would you date both of these types, or?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with either pattern. I mean, as long as you're okay with that. I think when you're in a relationship, both people have to be comfortable. I think the worst thing people can do is to be pretending or they trying to impress another person. Well, we all try to impress. Like we're in an interview, a first time meeting each other, we will try to impress each other in some way. I like when people being real. I constantly trying to suppress myself, trying to pretend or do any show off kind of things. That no, like I try to come as real as I can.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Which solves a lot of problems. It saves you time. It saves time for the person. And then I think fundamentally it comes from the respect. If you respect yourself, you also would respect society, and then you set the expectation. I'm real, I'm transparent with you, and you give everything, not necessarily directly, but you show your qualities as they are. So, to your question,
Yes.
I would accept both behaviors if
I like that
if
mindset.
that partner is comfortable. That's why it's like I'm trying to sense like what kind of woman is near me in.
Yeah,
Just
I
follow
understand
pattern.
that. Yeah.
So not necessarily going to open the door if I see her immediately opening the door of my car. Sure, that's. I was like, let me drive. Sure, you can drive. I don't mind.
So as we were talking about earlier about the Russian man,
Yeah,
they still like acting in traditional role as a provider. So are you also like that?
I can be like that. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, there's
You love
always a
taking care of
level.
women.
I like that. Yeah, I like to have a person being comfortable. So then that's if I can deliver that level of comfort, that would be great pleasure for me, of course.
I'm sure there are plenty of women out there who would appreciate that.
I presume so. Yes, it's
Okay, awesome. So now I'm sure everyone here would love to hear your dating stories in the
sure.
past couple of years. What's been going on, how it's like to be out there after your divorce.
So there was a lot of learning for me about how does this even unravel in the modern world. When I say modern world, meaning mobile world, meaning texting, meaning whatever, everything that goes, the ghosting and all that stuff. Like I haven't been exposed to that. So when I dated, it was always through some kind of real life experience. It's either someone's birthday or a party or some kind of other gathering, and I would meet a person and whatever, we would just talk. If it clicks, great. If it doesn't, you just you go live your life. There was no I mean, I never tried to have like an explicit setup for dating. So I think that's fundamentally one new thing for me, which I decided to try. It's like, okay, there's the dating apps. How does it work? So I downloaded that, several apps. And
So you just been on dating apps and try to date?
that was one of the ways, of course. And that was, again, a lot of learning experience went into that because you would expect specific communication to be maintained, but then there's nothing like that. I've seen several TikToks which were pretty funny. It was like, okay, what does it mean to date in what are 2024, 2025? And then it's like see a happy person running towards your door. You open the door and then the person disappears. This is how it felt sometimes. You would connect, you would match, you would exchange couple messages, and it seems positive, and then people just unmatch.
Okay. Tell us about some interesting dating experience you had.
So you match or unmatch and something, and sometimes people are being extremely direct with their questions. They're like, hi, and I'm like, how much do you earn? You're like, wow, that's an interesting question. Boom, unmatch. So there's a lot of, you don't even expect those kind of levels of questions, or they would ask like, you stated you have a kid. I want to know more about your luggage. Sorry.
Package.
Yeah, I don't know. Even baggage or luggage, either way. Yeah,
It's bad.
I didn't like the formulation of it, so I'm like, I'm not following why do you want to frame it like this, but I can of course tell you, unmatch. So there's a lot of
They will unmatch you.
yeah, they wouldn't match me. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
they don't
trying
care.
I'm trying to have some conversation. I'm being very polite. There's nothing I'm trying to offend. I'm trying to get some clarification. Why is that? So it took me a bit of a learning quite a bit actually, to be able to filter out those people quicker.
Yeah.
Because it's also painful for me, and then it leaves just a lot of unknown questions. And I think
So negative, right?
one of the rookie mistakes that everyone could do in this situation would be like, oh, it's me. It's something wrong with me. Maybe it's something's wrong with you, of course, but most likely there's just a lot of context that you just don't see, especially when person just like terminates the conversation so abruptly. So that was at the beginning pretty painful, but then I was very fine. Like I was good with it. It's like, okay, people unmatch. They have something going on. maybe there's even bots. Some of them were potentially not real people, because there are a lot of also bad players in those like matching networks. They trying to match, they get your phone, maybe they will try to get some advantage of you. Didn't happen to me, but you can read the FAQ and a lot of those dating apps.
I mean, dating apps, there's lots going on there, yes.
Yeah, so that's primarily
and people can't trust each other on dating apps. Is that your experience?
I'm okay trusting people. I didn't have that. It didn't take me to the level when I became untrustful, because I can trust people. I don't have problem with that.
So you'll be totally okay just go out and meet a person without doing any video calls?
Yeah. So this is eventually was my method. After all the match and match, call and call, it's text, nothing. I'm like, let's meet for a coffee. That was my matching text. So if people match, they immediately get a text that says, hey, great to match. I would love if we could just skip all that and, get a coffee at the place of your choosing.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah, so they will be comfortable to be at the place, like your favorite place. Show me your favorite coffee shop. Show me your favorite bakery.
You're so sweet.
I want people feel comfortable, to women to feel comfortable, like that they're in a safe place.
I'm telling you, there are not many men on the dating apps who think like you.
Okay, well, maybe that should be more, I don't know, advertised better, like as a suggested protocol for dating.
No, people are just different. Some men just being selfish, or they just don't care.
Yeah, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell about being selfish or don't care. So, if you don't care, you can't be in any relationship then. Like, how can you be? What are you then looking for? Like a one-night stand, I suppose? Yeah, I think the goals are important, like coming up with the correct outlook on what are you looking for. So that actually worked well.
What kind of woman will be attracting to you?
That's a long answer for this.
3 words.
I think smart women, that's for sure, athletic, and somebody who is not afraid to live the life. They're just not afraid of obstacles, and
someone brave, intelligent, and
adventurous, and in a good way. They're not holding back. Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of go out of this, and you can see when you see them in person, you can tell a lot of things very quickly.
What are the top 3 qualities about a woman that matters to you, that you must have them in them to be able to be your partner?
It intersects also with a lot of generally men or women and men. First probably is honesty. And it's not honesty just with you, it's honesty with yourself. A person must be completely honest with who they are, what they want. They need to figure things out. I cannot help with that. I can maybe reflect some of the things back.
I like that, honesty. Yeah.
They need to be really okay, I want kids, yes or no? I want a long-term relationship, yes or no? Like, decide. I know it's difficult, but you need to pick. There's things that you need to be really clear with yourself.
Okay. What about the other 2 qualities?
So honesty for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I said, kind of more adventurous spirit person who want to live the life to the full. And I think that can be summarized as somebody who is not afraid of failure. It's a person who is willing to go out of the comfort zone. They're not necessarily an achiever or overachiever, but they're determined and they can move forward with life, I think. Not being afraid to move forward, because, you can expect for sure there will be some downs in life. You don't know when, but you can't be afraid of them by sitting in the comfort zone. So you need to be okay with, some things to be over, some things to be not good, being able to fix them.
Have ability to face challenges in life?
Yeah, I think that would be good. I mean, there's also some baselines, of course, beyond the top. I want to say the third one would probably be communication, but it's
emotional intelligence. Would you say that?
I would say that, but it's not a quality. It's really like a pack of things. Communication is I want to put it as a 0, like a quality 0. You must have it. If person doesn't want to communicate, it goes to the honesty. You can fold it into honesty, which in a way also follows the second one, right? It's like, not being afraid of failure and getting out of comfort zone. But the third one is probably a good ability to learn, be perceptive to a change. That
adaptive to life.
Yeah. because we
I love
change
it.
as we go. And then people who are extremely conservative with their opinions, there's some things that you, of course, need to keep, right? Your values. But based on your values, you need to set the priorities and be constantly reevaluating your values. They're not the same. They're not sealed in stone.
Yeah, because we're
as
evolving, right?
yeah,
Situation changes. You're
situation, your
changing,
age, your
growing.
yeah.
Yeah. These are really important qualities to be able to like be a good partner and to be supportive.
Yeah, because my focus is it's a long term. I'm not here to entertain short term funds, which did happen to me as well, because I was also trying to figure out things. I do definitely value more long term connection with a person. So
You're ready.
when you invest in a person, you get a lot of investment back, and it's not like 1 + 1 is 2.
Okay.
1 + 1 is definitely more than 2 in relationship.
So would you like to tell us about one story about your dating experiences?
Sure. I think it's definitely it was quite recent, and this was definitely one that gave me very fresh perspective on, like, I didn't anticipate how deceptive people can be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is a bad experience.
This is definitely a bad experience. I mean, okay, even a bad experience is a good experience, because now I know what can happen.
Every experience is a learning
Yeah.
experience.
So I'm healed of this at this point. So I'm okay with actually talking about this, but it was painful in the moment.
Oh.
And it was also very passionate.
You met this person online, on apps.
Yes.
Okay.
This person. Okay. So yeah, let's details. I met this person online. So we met, and then the meeting, which was supposed to be just like a bit of a walk, maybe with a snack or something, became a dinner, and then which then went for 4 hours. And
sounds so nice.
yeah, we hit right away. There was a lot of cultural match.
Where is she from?
She's also from Russia.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
But you don't only date Russian, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, it so happened because actually
I see.
both of us had English names on the dating app. We communicated in English, and when we met, I'm like, okay, you speak Russian. She says, yeah, you too.
You didn't know she was Russian?
No, we didn't
that's
call each other.
interesting.
We didn't. The photographs, they're not. You don't see a Russian girl. It's she hasn't been in Russia for a long time, so she's not looking like a Russian. You might she might think, okay, she's might be like, I don't know, Slovenian or Romanian even. I don't know. So having said that, it was perfect. So the initial day was really good, and we started dating really quickly. So it was just like, hey, let's meet again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, let's meet again. Okay, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know. I can find some time tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I love that. So when a man is interested in a woman, they will ask out for a second date right away on the same spot.
There's no ghosting. Like, again,
I love it.
You being real, like, if you're real, if you have it, you have the smell right, you have the looks right, I think as a man, you go right away. I mean, I did read a research about how quickly men decide.
Yeah.
And on average, it takes them 3 minutes. Some people even say, well, it takes me like 15 seconds. Well, because it's okay. 15 seconds is a bit of an extreme, but it's very quick. For women in the same research, it takes way longer. So because...
What's the data say about women?
Okay, so the theory in that research was that women looking for a perspective and how much a man can grow over time, what can they achieve, not what they're right now, but who they will become in whatever, 5-10 years. Assuming, we're all assuming that here, we're talking about intelligent people that's in a way already self-realized. Yeah, so that research definitely, I mean, I appreciated it because I feel sometimes I decide too quickly. So I need to actually know, you need to open your eyes more and be more perceptive to what kind of person there is. So we decided to go on a second date. It was like, okay, perfect, let's meet. And, it was unraveling really quickly. So we went on the second date, and it was just a lot of, I don't know, chemistry of a sort. You can call it chemistry.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's not like we were drinking or anything. It was just walking and talking, and
you connected.
Yeah, at some point we kind of touched each other's hands and hugged, and so everything started happening. It was very natural.
Did you kiss on second
attraction. Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then we just couldn't stop kissing.
Wow.
Right? It was just really like very
so
attractive.
romantic.
Yeah, and then we had this like moment where I think it was like a good moment, right? We just parted ways for a little bit. she had to,
After second date.
she had a flight. She needed to
Okay.
take, like a week and a half
I see.
work-related travel. And then I was with my kid, of course, which she didn't even, like, we kind of didn't talk about this. I mean, she knew I had a kid. It's on my profile. But again, it wasn't, so I had to spend a week with him because we do 50-50 with my ex-wife. So we didn't see each other for 2 weeks, the way it got overlapped. And then, but we were texting all the time and just were keeping in contact more or less once every few days. So I was like, okay, I'll when is your flight? So I was like, what do you mean? Like, what's your flight number?
Oh, you want to go pick her up?
Yeah. So she sent me her flight number. And then it was just, it became such a fun story because her flight was like keeping delayed and changed. So she kept communicating with me, like what's happening with her flight.
And you felt weird?
No, it didn't feel. It felt like very close,
Oh,
as
I
if
see.
as if you're already with your friend. So
You were just thinking about to pick her up and
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, so it was a lot of jokes. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. Don't worry, you will be taken care of. I wasn't even saying it's gonna be me. And I did the whole plan of like,
oh
okay,
my
I'm
God,
gonna
you're so
get a limo,
considerate.
and we're gonna get like mariachi band, and then they will just meet her, play her, like get her to the limo. In limo there will be like a flowers, just like make a
You're
special
serious?
return. No, I'm totally serious. I'm
Oh
totally
my
serious.
God.
I'm like, I'm just gonna do the whole like shebang of the.
On a third date. That's the like third time to meet.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be there. It would be like all ordered, just for the fun of
Oh
it.
my God.
So I was like, I was just like jokingly saying that to her, and she's like, "This is crazy." Well, not everything,
Oh
but
my
like
God. You literally is the most romantic man I have met in a million years.
it was just I don't know. It kind of was, I think, a flow that you get into the flow. You get high bit on your feelings.
That's amazing. That would be like such a nice surprise. She will like fall in love with you right there. Oh my God.
The flight kept moving, so it was like
God.
it was delayed by
Michael, I did not see this coming. I did not know you're so romantic.
I can be
I'm
romantic,
completely
yeah,
shocked.
for the right person, yeah. And what ultimately happened is that it's the limo was
You
rescheduled.
arranged.
Oh, I did.
Oh my God.
No, it was, and they were like, we can't get flowers. I'm like, how can you not get flowers? Should I do DoorDash also? And you meet the DoorDash guy. I was like, this
You were like
whole
left and right on your phone,
whole
trying to figure it
operation,
out.
the ground operation. At the end, I canceled the band. It's like, okay, no
Oh my God,
band.
the band? That's insane.
Yeah,
Little flower band. Oh my.
and I arrived myself. But then I was like, okay, I need to suit up. So I put like a limo. I put a suit of a limo driver with
so
a
cute.
beard. I put like a beard
That's
on,
so funny.
and then I had the flowers, and then I printed like I printed a sign with her name, and it's like, for the most beautiful girl, and that's your name. I was standing there, and then yeah, when she came out, she was absolutely shocked. It was really crazy cool.
So what happened after? You told me the story is supposed to be a bad experience.
No, it is gonna get bad, of
Oh,
course. I don't know how
shoot.
much time do we have. Maybe we'll need a second episode on this.
Oh my, that's crazy. Keep going.
No, it was very exciting. Like we started like seeing each other often. I would stay at her place. She would stay at my place.
Oh, wow.
I feel
Wow. So you went around for a while.
yeah. It was.
You had a relationship with her.
Yeah.
For how long?
Oh well. So here, I think for about in total for 2 months.
Oh wow. You just keep surprising
But
her.
the last 2 weeks, they were like, they just went south. It was just like because something felt a little bit weird. Like it kind of started to feel weird.
But wait, just keep
few
going
weeks
with
in,
your
yeah.
story.
Okay, yeah. We became very close. It was like, hey, let's do that. And we started doing like different plans. When's your birthday? I was like, that's like my birthday is like whatever that month. I'm like, okay, let's go skiing, for example. She's like,
Her birthday.
yeah. I was like, awesome, I'll do that. I'll just like start arranging the skiing thing.
Oh,
When is your
wow.
birthday? It's like, it's in that. Like, okay, let's go to Florida. I know. And she's like, I know somebody in Florida will
She's also like very into
yeah.
it. Yeah.
She's very like adventurous, like
And also just her feelings also very genuine, I would say.
yeah, it felt that way. It felt
Oh.
it felt that way. I think in the moment it felt like really.
It has to be genuine to be like,
I don't think I don't think there was any fake in that thing.
I see.
I think there's also I don't want to diagnose anything, but there was something that there's like, what is this? And there was moments, there's things like they went like weird. Like I'll give you some ideas. At some point, like this is just like probably one of the things that happened. We were like waking up in the morning and she was like, I don't feel good since yesterday. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Like you told me like, maybe you should schedule like a visit to a dog, She's like, yeah, I'll do that. And we're like, I'm preparing the breakfast. Okay, what am I doing for breakfast? She tells me what she wants breakfast. And then the next one's like, I see her like packing up and like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to a gym. Like, how are you going to, you don't feel good? You want to go to a dog? I'm like, no, I actually decided I want to go to the gym. I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay, hurry up. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I'm literally like, in my underwear in the kitchen, like making breakfast and coffee, and like I have frying eggs. She's like, no, hurry up, let's go. I'm like, sorry, can I stay? She's like,
Oh
no.
my God.
I'm like, okay, can you leave me the keys? And then she just like explodes. I don't trust you enough. What do you expect me to give you the keys? How do you even, I don't know you.
You're at her place?
Yeah, I'm at her place. This is like week 4. I stayed there for like 20 times already. I'm not just dropping it. I'm like, what do you mean you don't trust me? Like here, this is me. Like we were doing all kind of stuff. Like it's not like you know me for 10 minutes here.
My God.
And then she's just like, here's like, it's maybe like some trauma that she had. I don't know. Again,
Okay.
I don't want to, I'm like, okay.
Anyway.
I'm like, okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm like, fine, I'm good.
Yeah.
I turn off everything, like, just unfried eggs. I like put on my clothes, like, okay, let's go.
Where are we
Let's
going?
go. No, she's going to a gym. I'm going
You're just
home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So we get now,
Kicked out.
she runs out to the gym. I'm like, okay, fine. Then we kind of like talk after the gym. She's out and then she calls me. It was such a weird conversation because her angle was, she kept like being very emotional, but she says like, I don't feel comfortable to be so unpolite with people. I'm a good host. I just didn't like the way it works. I didn't want to kick you out, of course. I'm really sorry about that. I'm like, no, you like completely missing the point. Where's the trust? Like I think we had some level of trust that we accumulated, with all the sex we were having and like, everything that going out.
Yeah,
that
you were
happened.
being so intimate.
Suddenly something like something that again, I don't know what was it. The swing happened, and to me it was like, I don't know. Okay, this is weird, and that was probably the weird part that kind of like the main weird part that started happening. And then those swings, they were like happening more often. I think maybe she entered the period of that state of mind of hers.
So it's like similar type of weirdness.
Yeah, and so she would be like crying and crazy in that sense, and even like, let's meet. And she's all like normal. And then we would talk and she would like be all, we would hanging out. And
I would not be able to handle that.
No, I was like, maybe it's like, I don't know. It was a lot of maybes. It was not.
It's like she's constantly on her period.
Yeah, no, but like a very strong period, like with a weird twist. With a really weird twist.
Super strong period.
And then we spend the night together. And then we're like, okay, I'm going to work. She's going to work. But then I text her in the middle of the day, hey, what would you like for lunch? And it's like, no response. Okay, I'll just order you something. And I'll just order. And she's like, stop texting me, I'm working. It's like exclamation marks. I'm like, what is the hell on earth is going on?
That's so weird.
So I'm like, okay, not texting you, nothing.
So what do you think that is? Did you have conversation with her?
I did. She doesn't like see it.
So she has no self-awareness and nor she want to communicate with you?
She would communicate, but she would say, well, it was, it was just bad timing and you were like, you don't understand it.
What? That's why I want to ask questions, right?
Yeah, her point was always like, you hearing me? I'm like, yeah, I'm hearing you, but you're not listening. I'm like, what am I not listening to? I think it's very normal to a person to ask how you doing and send you whatever, order you lunch, and you don't reply, so I order you 2 lunches, and you can pick. And if you don't like, you give the other one to your colleague.
You did that too?
Many times.
You're so considerate.
I don't mind. I really wanted people to feel
that's
like
very thoughtful.
Comfortable. And for her, it would
you
be
keep
like
shocking me with your niceness. Oh my.
I think like my view is always like, if you wanna like express whatever your feelings about person, or like
you fall in
warmth.
love.
Yeah, well, I did, of course.
Oh my.
So you do those things for person. So
It's
there's obviously
beautiful.
several things, several ways to express your love, of course, but physically, emotionally, you would support a person, you would call a person. So you'd also have some expectation that maybe, you can have a morning call, evening call, right? And that was like extremely sporadic. So she would be like hanging out, also hanging up on me, or versus she would call me and like burst in some tears at some point. I didn't get how this extremely emotional behavior happened after seemingly quiet time.
Okay. What happened after?
So those swings were very rapid and they were more frequent. So I had days where I would meet her it's like I was telling, like I would spend the night with her, and then in the morning this, and in the midday that, some texting, and then in the evening she would be like not happy. So those swings are really, taking a toll on me as well. So I said, okay, I need to pause this. And
I see.
I had a conversation with her about this. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with you. Don't want to talk about this. Like, I can't help you.
You were mentioning she was being deceptive.
Yeah, because I think maybe she was trying and making an effort to be, let's put this more of like a normal person, present herself in the beginning, and then she maybe give it more loose to how she really is.
Oh.
That's to me, this is deceptive.
Oh, maybe she has been just who she is the whole time. She fall in love with you, but however, she have a personality. What do you call that? There are bipolars out there.
Yeah,
they show different
this
type of personality.
matches very nicely with that.
So she may have some issues on that one, but doesn't mean she's being deceptive.
It was deceptive for me, I would say.
You felt
Very revealing.
You felt deceptive.
Absolutely, yeah.
I understand that. All right, yeah, that's at least you fall in love.
I did, and I did a lot of foolish things, and I think, okay, again,
come on, that's so nice. Giving and loving somebody, that experience.
Yeah, like I have no regrets in that regard. I mean, I'm actually super thankful. Why? Because it ended. It didn't go for years like this.
Yeah.
Right? So like in every separation like this, everyone should be super happy. Like it's over, everyone's happy, everyone's free again, in a way that they can now reflect on the experience, figure out where the screw-ups were. For me, the screw-up was that, I shouldn't have been so maybe direct and expect so much from a person, which you need to observe a person over the period of time. It's not like, oh, yeah, I've seen a person
which you have, during the 2 months time? Yeah. So you went out for 2 months and you broke up.
Yeah.
All right. So what has this experience taught you, and what have you learned?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, maybe taking more time to observe a person, they would reveal themselves eventually. Right?
In terms of selecting your partner.
When you combine the logical and illogical, right, and when you combine the logic and the feelings, they go against each other. Because when you feel something, you just remove the logic from it. But if you become too logical, you become too boring to another person.
Okay, here's another question. What are some deal breakers for you?
Well, definitely not being communicative, or communication needs to be structured in some way. Like if some person, I don't like you to be calling me in the middle of the day or texting me. Say it. It's fine. Just say it. If it's not pronounced, the expectation is, maybe, yes,
What else?
Dishonest. Like if person, they kind of not trying to be.
Okay. So what is one thing about a girl that is just so
okay,
not...
well, it's easy, right? It's like cheating, right? It's like if a girl cheats on you, that's...
Is that a Russian? Is that you being Russian right now?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's actually...
Loyalty is very important to Russian.
Something very common, not common, but I learned it here to also through dating, like, there's a question, like, are we exclusive?
Oh
I'm
my,
like, what is
seriously?
that? What is that? Oh, I want to know if we're in the moment of, like, I've been asked, when we're exclusive. Like, of course we're exclusive. Like, I'm dating one person at a time. There's no dating 6 women in parallel. It's like you cannot do that emotionally. You cannot even invest yourself.
Yeah, it's true. And also I agree, like if dating one person is actually a grace for yourself, like you're gaining by investing your focus, and then only by diving in that one relationship with one woman 100%, like you can get to know somebody fully.
Otherwise you're not genuine. That's the thing.
You're not.
You're not gonna
also, it's
remember.
hard to get to know a person like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You just stay too surfaced, right? Like the person
You're so mature.
will tell you a history. By the way, I had a really interesting screw up once, which was pretty funny. I was like, fun story. I was really tired, and then it was just like really, really tired. I met somebody for a coffee one morning. It wasn't good, and then the next morning I had another coffee
date.
Yeah, it was a first date. There's no attachment in there. And then in my mind, it's kind of like mixed up. And then I thought, anyway, I just like said, oh, so do you like going to swim into the sea? And she's like, of course I do. And I'm like, I think you said you don't. I didn't say that. And because it's like, and I'm like, oh shoot, it's kind of like,
oh, that's funny.
You see, like, it's like, I
were having a hangover.
And then she was like, I told you I lived my whole life near the sea and I'm like expert surfer. I'm like, boom, epic fail.
What happened to you? You were just not focused?
Yeah, I was just like
that happens.
You don't keep like the
I guess
the
you'll never
details.
see you again.
But that's what no, it didn't happen. Yeah, and that's what would happen, of course, if you're going out with many women and it just messes up your brain.
Yeah, so that's another question here. Nowadays, when you go on date, what's your frequency? Like every week, how many women do you go on date with?
Yeah, not many, because it's the filtering now is very strong, right? So I can filter out much earlier.
I respect that.
Yeah, and it saves time to me and.
Well, give me a number.
Maybe like once a week.
Oh, that's so healthy. I like that. Oh, actually, I have a question.
Go ahead, yeah.
Before we ending, what is number one green flag for you?
Number one green flag for me.
Like you're like, oh, I like to see her again. She's cool.
She's there. I mean, she's present. Being a present in the moment, that's important.
That's also shows genuine, right?
You will see that everywhere. She's responsive. She'll be there on time. She's not looking at her phone. She's talking to you. She's not distracted. And like whatever. It's 40 minutes. It's 1 hour. It's 20 minutes. She'll be there for that time. You have like a good eye contact with her. So.
I see you thought through a lot of things and you're like super emotionally available and super like emotionally mature. I'm totally surprised with the conversation we had today.
Thank you. Yeah,
with everything I've learned about you. Yeah, so
likewise,
refreshing.
It was great to be here.
All right. What else do you have to say to our audience?
Well, I think, just be brave, be yourself, figure this out and just go on with life.
All right.
Not everyone matches everyone, so that's why.
That's very true. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we did this. To all of you that is listening, I want to thank you for tuning in to this very first episode of the Dating Chit. It means so much to me. So, rushing guys, kind of tempting now, aren't they? Maybe it's time to expand your dating criteria just a little. Originally, I had planned to launch our Apply to Date Our Single Guest feature for Michael with this episode. But life, as it often does, surprised us. Just a few weeks after we recorded, I found out Michael had met someone new across the globe. And guess what? They're now traveling in Europe together. Bad news? One more intentional, successful, emotionally available man is off the market. For now. When I asked him if we should still include the part of Apply to Date, he gave me a firm no. He's all in and wants to give his new connection his full attention. This level of focused energy is becoming so rare. It is attractive and is what builds a real future. I'm so thrilled for Michael and for her because that kind of intentional love is what we all hope for and deserve. If you enjoyed this conversation, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who might need a little dating inspiration. If this episode brought you value, you're welcome to take me out for a virtual coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thedatingchit. It helps keep the mics on, and I truly appreciate the support. We also share short and fun content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'd love to see you there too. If you or someone amazing you know would be a great guest for this show. You can find the application link in the show notes. That's it for now. This is a dating chat. I'm T. Until next time, keep showing up, stay kind, stay curious, and never settle for less than the love you truly deserve.